The story of Kin and his extraordinary discovery in Panama has captured global attention, and today it has reached a new peak. A video uploaded by Kin has been described as the clearest and most compelling footage yet of the alien entity he uncovered inside a meteorite. From the very beginning, viewers have been demanding greater clarity, hoping for visuals that could confirm or challenge the growing body of speculation surrounding the strange black substance. Now, for the first time, this new recording has provided a closer, sharper look at the mysterious form, and what it reveals has both shocked and fascinated those following the case. The footage shows what appears to be more than just a shifting mass of black goo. Unlike earlier recordings where the entity's form seemed ambiguous, this video highlights details that many viewers insist were not visible before. Viewers point out the outline of a claw-like appendage extending outward, a structure that seems to move independently, as though testing its environment. Alongside this, sharp-eyed followers claim to have spotted what looks like a darkened eye reflecting the light of the camera, creating an eerie sense of being watched in return. For many, these are the first undeniable signs that Kin's discovery is not a simple geological anomaly or chemical reaction, but something alive. Perhaps the most striking feature of the video is the way the entity appears to move rhythmically, almost as if it is breathing. Slow expansions and contractions ripple across its form, a pulsing motion that has sparked intense debate. To some, this breathing-like activity is the clearest proof yet that the substance is not inert matter, but a living organism of unknown origin. Others speculate that what appears to be respiration could instead be a form of growth cycle, where the mass expands as new structures form and contracts as it stabilizes. Either way, the implications are profound. Viewers have also noted what they interpret as early signs of limb formation. In previous updates, Kin had documented the goo spreading into branching web-like shapes. Now, the latest footage suggests that these extensions are beginning to solidify into recognizable appendages. Some sections appear more defined, resembling arms or legs, giving the impression that the organism is in the process of constructing a body. If true, this would represent a remarkable transformation, a formless, gelatinous substance evolving into a structured creature before the world's eyes. Since posting the video, Kin's account has been flooded with comments and theories. Supporters of the extraterrestrial explanation argue that the entity's features are consistent with depictions of alien organisms in science fiction, particularly the presence of claws, eyes, and limbs. They claim that no earthly process could explain such growth patterns, particularly from a mass that originated in a meteorite. Others in the biological camp maintain that while the phenomenon is extraordinary, it could still be explained through natural processes. They speculate about unknown fungal colonies, experimental microorganisms, or even parasitic life forms adapting to new environments. A smaller but persistent group suggests the entity is technological in nature, possibly an engineered organism designed to simulate life. What sets this video apart is the sense of immediacy it conveys. Unlike second-hand reports or blurred still images, the footage captures the raw presence of the creature, recorded up close and without interruption. Kin's decision to film the entity directly, despite potential risks, has added to the growing belief that he is determined to show the world something that powerful forces might prefer to keep hidden. Each frame of the recording deepens the mystery, raising new questions that only add to the public's fascination. The timing of the video is also significant. Over the past several weeks, Kin has spoken about receiving inquiries and pressure from officials who have expressed interest in his discovery. He has acknowledged that strangers have contacted him, asking to take the meteorite and its contents away. These revelations have fueled fears of a potential cover-up, with many warning that Kin's time documenting the phenomenon may be limited. In this context, the release of such a clear and detailed video feels like a deliberate act of preservation, ensuring that even if the entity is taken, its existence cannot be denied. On social media, reactions to the footage have been intense. Some describe feelings of awe and wonder at witnessing what could be the first publicly documented extraterrestrial life form. Others admit to fear, unsettled by the possibility that something alien and growing is now in human hands, perhaps beyond control. Discussions range from calls to study the entity under strict scientific conditions to warnings that interacting with it at all could pose risks humanity cannot yet comprehend. Kin's choice to continue sharing updates despite mounting pressure has made him a central figure in one of the most extraordinary unfolding events in recent memory. His willingness to show the world the entity's growth, rather than handing it over in secrecy, has earned him both admiration and concern. Supporters praise him for standing against forces of suppression, while others worry about his safety and the implications of allowing the creature to develop unchecked. The entity itself, however, remains the true focus. The claw-like extension, the darkened eye, the breathing motions, and the beginnings of limbs. These details combine to create an image that is both thrilling and unsettling. If the creature continues to grow, as many believe it will, then today's video may one day be remembered as the moment when humanity first saw an alien life form reveal its true nature. In the broader scope, the implications of this discovery are staggering. If the entity is indeed alive, its existence would challenge long-held beliefs about life beyond Earth. It would suggest that organisms can survive cosmic journeys, emerging intact on distant planets. The idea that such a being could now be growing and breathing on Earth raises questions about adaptation, resilience, and the possibilities of interaction between human civilization and alien life. For now, what remains certain is that Kin's latest video has escalated the story to a level no one can ignore. The footage, hailed by many as the clearest yet, has turned speculation into something tangible. The claw, the eye, the breathing, all of it points to a reality that is no longer confined to imagination or distant rumor. As of right now, the alien entity remains locked in a safe, under Kin's protection, continuing to grow and change. But the world has now seen more than enough to know that something extraordinary is unfolding. Whether it is a gift, a warning, or a mystery too vast to yet understand, Kin's video has ensured that the phenomenon will not be forgotten. The eyes of the world are now watching, waiting for the next chapter in a story that may define this generation's understanding of life itself. Tim Gallaudet, a retired Rear Admiral in the United States Navy, just said the following: "I think it's about time we disclose that we are in contact with non-human intelligence. That's what needs to be put out there in the public." End quote. Former Rear Admiral of the United States Navy, Tim Gallaudet, expresses his conviction in the credibility of UFO whistleblowers, such as David Grush, who claim that the government is involved in clandestine operations to retrieve non-human entities. Vice Admiral Tim Gallaudet, in an interview, expressed the ongoing quest to gain deeper insights into this cutting-edge technology. He said that its potential to provide a significant advantage in any military confrontation is a subject of great interest and study. It is a compelling justification for maintaining secrecy regarding the nature of the technology. He continued by saying that, taking into consideration the foreseeable future, it is our intention to avoid divulging and revealing the entirety of the recovered technology. Our objective is to provide a comprehensive picture of the situation without compromising the details of the technology in question. In the present moment, he believes it is vital for us to acknowledge and reveal our interactions with intelligence that is not of human origin. This essential information should be shared with the public, allowing for a greater understanding and awareness of this phenomenon. It is crucial to provide a comprehensive account of our engagement with non-human intelligence. Gallaudet made an additional statement about these unidentified flying objects, asserting that we are indeed encountering beings of non-human origin who possess technology beyond our comprehension, accompanied by motives that remain elusive. The individual in question is an expert in oceanography who has held significant positions within the US Department of Commerce. Specifically, they have served as the Assistant Secretary of Commerce for Oceans and Atmosphere, as well as acting Under Secretary of Commerce for Oceans and Atmosphere and acting Administrator of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. With an extensive background in this field, they have played a crucial role in shaping policies and initiatives related to marine and atmospheric sciences. During his time serving in the Navy, he firmly asserts that he encountered video evidence of unidentified flying objects. This intriguing claim adds a new layer of intrigue to his military experiences. The subject of extraterrestrial or non-human intelligence has been a topic of intense debate and skepticism for many years. Publicly acknowledging one's belief in these phenomena has often been met with criticism and social stigma. Ever since reports of these allegations began to circulate in the media, there has been a noticeable shift in the overall narrative. The frequency of various incidents involving the government has significantly increased, further contributing to this evolving storyline. Skepticism, a prevailing tendency among humans, plays a crucial role in fostering a clearer and more insightful comprehension of the world we inhabit. By fostering a healthy dose of skepticism, we are able to navigate and engage with our reality more effectively. However, when it comes to certain subjects like the existence of extraterrestrial life or unidentified flying objects, many individuals opt to draw a distinct boundary, remaining skeptical or dismissing such notions outright. Over the past 6 years, there has been a concerted effort to ensure credibility and legitimacy by involving both the military forces and the scientific community. On a significant date, specifically Thursday, May 18th, an esteemed professor from Stanford University made an appearance at the SALT Forum in the bustling city of New York. This noteworthy event saw the dissemination of a concise video showcasing the remarkable assertions made by none other than Professor Nolan, a highly respected and influential figure in his field. Eager to establish his expertise, the video captures an inquiry regarding his credentials, ensuring that the audience understands his unparalleled qualifications to discuss the subject matter at hand. Within the hallowed halls of Stanford University, Dr. Gary P. Nolan holds a prominent position within the eminent pathology and immunology department. Throughout his illustrious career, he has made significant contributions in the realm of cancer research, a field that has seen extensive collaboration between the esteemed institution and the United States government spanning numerous decades. Given this impressive background, it is without a doubt that Dr. Nolan stands as the epitome of a specialist capable of providing a scientific perspective on the likelihood of extraterrestrial life existing on our very own planet. The assertions put forth by the individual in question are certainly not meant for those who are easily startled. As soon as this bold claim was made, it caused a stir among the general public, prompting gasps of surprise. If the same statement had originated from a typical UFO enthusiast conducting independent research, it likely would have been dismissed without much consideration. However, Dr. Gary Nolan's credibility is firmly established due to his connections with the government and his extensive contributions in this field. In fact, despite being dubbed a skeptic by the most fervent proponents of this subject, Dr. Nolan consistently opts for a scientific approach when evaluating various cases that come his way. One cannot help but be intrigued by Dr. Nolan's unwavering certainty when it comes to the existence of non-human intelligence on planet Earth. He staunchly maintains that such intelligence has already established a profound presence, leaving no room for doubt. Furthermore, he firmly reiterates his conviction by insisting that the case is a matter of absolute certainty, devoid of any ambiguity. However, it is particularly noteworthy that his claim regarding the involvement of the American government in UFO crash retrieval programs is shrouded in mystery, as he refrained from divulging specific details. This farmer couldn't believe what he was seeing when he viewed his CCTV footage. As of right now, there's not much information to go by, and no news outlets picked up the story, which is odd because people can't seem to wrap their heads around what happened. Upon entering, his eyes widened in disbelief. There, amidst the hay and dust, lay a gaping hole in his barn roof. The wooden planks had splintered and shattered, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. The farmer began to panic as he surveyed the damage, wondering how such a catastrophe could have taken place. He rushed back to the house, clambering up the staircase to reach his office. The farmer had installed a security camera system on his property years ago, mainly to keep an eye on potential thieves. Now, those cameras might hold the key to unraveling the mystery of the damaged barn. He accessed the CCTV footage on his computer. He watched the playback, and what he saw left him utterly bewildered. In the dimly lit footage from the previous night, a bizarre sequence of events unfolded before him. One of his prized cows could be seen falling through the roof, with many saying that the cow was falling at speed and that it was like it had been dropped from a great height. As if guided by some unseen force, the cow suddenly shot through the roof, damaging the entire area. One farmer commented that in all of their years of owning a barn, they've never had a cow appear on top of it. Others questioned how such a large cow would be able to climb on top of the roof. It wasn't long before online users began to put forward their own theories for why the cow fell through the roof. The fascination with unidentified objects has endured for decades, captivating the imagination of people worldwide. While unidentified object sightings have been reported in various forms and locations, one of the more curious aspects of these encounters involves the mysterious interest in cattle. Throughout the history of sightings, a peculiar pattern has emerged. Cattle frequently feature in close encounters. Witnesses have reported a range of incidents involving unidentified objects and cattle. Reports of cattle found under mysterious circumstances often involve peculiar surgical precision, with organs and body parts removed with apparent surgical expertise. These cases have raised questions about the motivations behind these actions. Witnesses have claimed to see mysterious objects hovering above pastures and cattle being lifted into the air or taken aboard the craft. Those who have seen the video suggested that the cow may have been taken by one of these objects and dropped through the roof. The claims sound outlandish, but for several decades, farmers have reported seeing mysterious lights above their pastures. In some cases, unidentified object sightings have coincided with reports of cattle displaying unusual behavior, such as panic, agitation, or disorientation. Witnesses have noted that these changes in behavior seem to coincide with the presence of unidentified objects. Cattle explorations have been occurring for many years, with documented cases dating back as far as the late 19th century. However, it was during the 1970s that a noticeable increase in reported incidents occurred, primarily in the United States. In the years that followed this surge, regular reports of such explorations began to emerge from various corners of the globe, indicating a widespread phenomenon. These incidents, characterized by unexplained and precise dissections of cattle, have continued to perplex and intrigue researchers and investigators alike. Despite extensive research, we are no closer to understanding what causes these mysterious explorations. The occurrence of this phenomenon, although it has never completely disappeared from public attention, seemed to have diminished to some extent. However, over the past 25 years, the situation has taken a different turn. In fact, if anything, these events appear to be transpiring with increasing frequency. It is evident that they are becoming more prevalent and noteworthy. This trend, which has been observed in recent times, points towards a significant shift in the frequency and significance of these incidents. During the summer of 1990 in Vancouver, Canada, the residents found themselves caught in a series of inexplicable occurrences that lasted the entire season. Unusual sounds, reminiscent of machine-like noises, pervaded the skies across the region, perplexing the local inhabitants who were unaccustomed to such auditory phenomena. Adding to the enigma, a resident even recounted witnessing the presence of an unfamiliar figure in a nearby field. These forms of explorations are not restricted solely to the continent of North America. Moreover, researchers in the United Kingdom have conducted investigations that shed light on the potential perpetrators. The phenomenon spans beyond geographical boundaries and has captured the attention of experts worldwide. These experts have delved deep into their research, aiming to uncover the underlying causes and individuals or entities responsible for these mysterious explorations. According to the Animal Pathology Field Unit, there is an overwhelming certainty that advanced beings are the culprits behind the incidents of animal explorations, particularly those that have persistently plagued the Welsh region. The Animal Pathology Field Unit has conducted extensive research and analysis, leaving no room for doubt regarding the involvement of mysterious entities in these incidents. Wales, in particular, has experienced a significant increase in unidentified object activity, which directly corresponds to the surge in cases of animal explorations. The meticulous investigations conducted proved that many of these incidents could not have been done by humans. Investigator Phil Hoyle, a seasoned expert with years of experience in dealing with such cases, refutes the notion that these instances of animal explorations are linked to rituals. According to Hoyle, the level of precision and sophistication observed in these injuries indicates the potential involvement of advanced beings, the military, or perhaps even a combination of both. This suggests that there may be an underlying agenda or purpose behind these incidents. Over a span of 6 months, from 2011 to 2012, numerous well-known show horses experienced acts similar to those seen in cattle. Instances of these incidents were reported from various locations across the United Kingdom, sparking a wide range of theories. Speculations ranged from sinister rituals to clandestine government experiments, leaving the public perplexed and searching for answers. In the city of Shrewsbury, approximately a year before the present time of this account in 2010, farmers encountered a rather perplexing phenomenon. They witnessed strange occurrences involving their livestock, especially sheep. According to their reports, peculiar entities or objects would suspend themselves in mid-air above the animals, emitting a laser beam downwards onto them. During a particularly active phase of these unusual explorations, numerous individuals claimed to have observed strange orange lights in the sky. Several theories and hypotheses have emerged to explain the UFO-cattle connection, though none have been definitively proven. These theories offer intriguing possibilities for why unidentified objects might theoretically be interested in cattle. Some speculate that advanced beings, if indeed behind these sightings, might be conducting biological experiments involving Earth's flora and fauna. Cattle, as a large and easily accessible terrestrial species, could be a subject of interest for such studies. Cattle have been subjected to extensive genetic modification and breeding by humans for centuries. UFO interest in cattle could relate to advanced civilizations' curiosity about our genetic experiments and breeding practices, leading them to study these domesticated animals. In hypothetical scenarios, where advanced beings are facing resource scarcity on their home planets, they might consider terrestrial species, including cattle, as potential sources of sustenance or materials. This theory, however, raises ethical and logistical questions about the logistics of such an endeavor. Cattle grazing areas often cover vast expanses of land. Mysterious sightings near cattle ranches might be attributed to the extraterrestrial interest in monitoring environmental changes, possibly related to ecological concerns or Earth's shifting climate. Cattle hold significant cultural and symbolic value in many human societies. Mysterious sightings involving cattle might be part of extraterrestrial attempts at communication or interaction with our species, acknowledging the significance we attribute to these animals. Encounters involving cattle could serve a psychological purpose, potentially aimed at studying human reactions, belief systems, or societal responses to unusual events. This theory suggests that cattle serve as a proxy for human subjects in experiments. It is essential to approach the unidentified object and cattle connection with scientific skepticism and acknowledge that the evidence supporting these theories is largely anecdotal and circumstantial. Many sightings involving cattle lack definitive proof or concrete scientific data to establish causality or correlation. Although the most popular stories surrounding advanced phenomena tend to focus on the topics of sightings of mysterious crafts or supernatural occurrences featuring humanoid creatures, many researchers often forget that some of the strongest pieces of evidence of intervention appears to center around the disappearances of cattle and subsequent damages to livestock. The earliest known written record of bizarre animal surgeries and sudden disappearances of a large number of livestock comes from an official document dated sometime during the early 1600s, when an investigator for the court of James I of England claimed that impossible to explain mass expirations of sheep were being recorded all across London and nearby shires. It was originally believed that the sudden expirations of the sheep could have been caused by neighbouring farms competing in market production, alongside hungry travellers that were committing theft as they travelled throughout London, of which was the most heavily populated region during the 1600s. However, when the investigations took place, evidence was found that seemed to reject the original hypothesis. According to the court investigator, the sheep were found to have expired through causes that were otherwise impossible to attribute to human activity. Their organs, meat, and fleece remained untouched, with only evidence of possible tallow removal, and blood having been completely drained from the animal with no spillage. Even more difficult to explain was the sheer number of sheep that suddenly expired in what farmers believed would have been over the course of only a few hours. The investigator wrote that in some cases, there were more than 100 sheep that suddenly expired, and no evidence of footprints or tracks that could point towards a group of people having perpetrated the crime. When the investigator asked around local regions that were at the epicenter of the series of sheep disappearances and expirations, many attributed the sight of brilliant fireworks nearby to have been the possible cause. Some believed that the fireworks could have scared the sheep and caused them to pass away in fright, whereas others believed that the lights they had seen in the sky could have had a more sinister purpose. The court ended the investigation by saying that around the city of London and some of the shires adjoining, whole expirations of sheep have been made, in some places the number reaching as high as 100.